People work with people that they know, like, and trust. We've got hundreds of videos online on our website, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. So I hope that you've had a chance to watch a few of those and gotten to know us a bit. I also hope that I've built a bit of trust with you by giving straight up, honest information about some complex financial topics without being sensational or doing gimmicky, dumb, spammy things to get clicks. Our whole company at Save Pacific is just like that. We're straight up, we're honest, and we're level-headed. Hi, I'm Laurent Meunier, a partner at Save Pacific, and welcome, or welcome back if you've been here before. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what happens next after you send us a DM here or you send us a message through our website. This way you can know the process and the next steps if you want to work with us. First things first. Our industry has a stigma of being pushy and high-pressure sales, and we try to be the exact opposite of that stereotypical insurance agent or financial advisor. What does this mean? Well, it means that we're not going to call you or email you 100 times and bother you. I know that some people out there think that that's what we're going to do, but I'm here to tell you right now that ain't nobody got time for that. If you don't want us to call you, trust me, we also don't want to call you. We spend our days talking to people who want to talk to us. So what do we do after you send us a message through our website? So first thing, somebody on the team is going to email you within 24 hours on business days. We're also going to follow up with a phone call to make sure that we do connect with you. I can promise you now that it's going to be a real person in our office who's going to email you and call you. It's not going to be automated robots, and it's not a call center in some other country. So in that email that you get, you can expect to receive a scheduling link to book a time in our calendar and take next steps to see if we're a good fit to work with you and to see if you're a good fit to work with us. In this first meeting that you schedule, you can either schedule a 15-minute intro call or a proper discovery meeting, which is usually about 45 minutes to an hour. And then in this discovery meeting, what happens? It is really to get a better understanding of your current situation, of your goals, of your concerns, and also to see if we like one another and want to work together. We're going to ask you a lot of questions, and we're going to let you do most of the talking. The questions that we're going to ask you are different than what a standard financial advisor is going to ask you or somebody at the bank. We go much deeper to find out about your goals, your concerns, your value system around money, and we're going to ask you a lot of questions and let you do most of the talking. And then those questions that we're going to ask you are different than some standard financial advisor at a bank. We go much deeper and we want to find out about your goals and your concerns and your value system around money. And really, they break down into kind of four major categories. The first bit is your standard vital statistics stuff. We ask about your assets, liabilities, you're married, do you have kids, you own your house, what are your debts, do you have other investments? This is where it's the standard stuff that some guy at the bank can ask you. But it's also super important for us to know this. You don't have to have your exact numbers and statements for the accounts, so don't worry if you don't have those available, but please, have a general idea of your numbers. How much do you make? How much do you spend? Do you owe money? And I need to mention now that anything that we talk about in this meeting and in all our meetings is kept very private and confidential. We don't share your information with anybody, and we take privacy very seriously. At the beginning of this video, I talked about trust. So it's very important that you trust us, but it's also very important that we trust you. So sometimes we get people who reach out to us and they don't want to share any information. So this is a massive red flag for us, and it's a quick indication that this relationship is not going to work. Do know that if you're calling us and we're going through a discovery process, we're going to ask you a bunch of questions, and we need you to tell us honest and open answers and not hold anything back. And you can feel comfortable doing that because we keep all of your information private and confidential. We also don't judge you on your situation and on what you're trying to do and on your goals and on your values. So sharing information like this is very important. And like I said, it's a red flag if you don't want to do it, because why don't you? Like, what are you doing? Are you a massive drug dealer and you're hiding money? So I need to know that. The next part in our discovery questions gets into more fun stuff, right? We start talking about your goals and your concerns, and we really want to know what you're trying to do in the next couple of years. What are you trying to accomplish? And we break your goals down into personal goals and financial goals and professional goals. And we also want to know about your concerns, any obstacles that could prevent you from accomplishing your goals. We need to know these so that we can plan around them. And the third part of our discovery meeting is actually, it's kind of my favorite, and it's what makes us really stand out. I don't think too many other financial advisors get into these types of questions. And let me explain what I mean. So we ask more philosophical questions about how you think about money, about your value system around money. And for this part of the meeting, there's no right or wrong answers, but it's really important to talk about what you like and what you don't like. How do you think about money? How do you view money? How do you view debt? Where did you come from with money? Like, what did your parents teach you? And this really helps us to present solutions that are tailored towards you and that align with your values. And we really want to make sure that whatever we present to you in the next little bit in our meetings fits with what you want and fits with your value system. Because if we present to you recommendations that don't match your values, you're not going to do them. And it's also going to look like we're a bunch of dummies that didn't listen to you and didn't give you what you said you wanted. So as a quick example, it wouldn't make sense for us to recommend red if you tell us that you hate red and you only like blue. This last series of questions that we're going to ask you is really around your financial power team. If finances is a team sport, we play one position on that team, but we want to know who else we're playing with. Do you have another investment advisor? Who's your accountant? Do you have a lawyer? Who's your mortgage broker? Who's your realtor? Who else are you getting financial advice from? And we want to know this because if we propose for you to go left, we don't want your other advisor to tell you to go right. That doesn't make a good plan if everyone's not on the same page and everyone's going in the same direction. So once we go over all of this, that's where our work really starts. So we take all this information and we put it together into a customized proposal that's based on what you've just told us. And this brings us to our second meeting. So this is our proposal meeting, and it's usually about a week later because it takes us some time to actually put this proposal together. And then this meeting takes about an hour. So in this second meeting, we'll summarize everything that we talked about in the first meeting to confirm that we heard you and that we understood what you said. And then we're going to make some recommendations based on what we talked about in the first meeting. So those recommendations are going to be tailored to your exact situation, and they're going to include numbers and price quotes for whatever that we're presenting. And then at the end of the meeting, we're going to give you all of that paperwork that we went over, including any quotes and any numbers, so that you can keep it. And it also so that you don't have to remember everything and take notes during the meeting because we're just going to send it all to you. One of our company values here at Say Pacific is to be very educational in our approach. So we really want you to understand the recommendations, and we want you to ask a lot of questions if you need to. In this meeting, in this second meeting, you're still not signing anything. You don't owe us anything, right? We want you to take everything that we said. We want you to go home and think about your options. Talk to your partner, your husband, your wife, or whoever else needs to be involved in the decision to move forward. After the meeting, when you go away, if you want to see different numbers or scenarios, we're happy to run those. We're happy to show you more quotes. You can email us, you can call us, and we'll do this more or less however many times you want so that by the time we land on something, it fits with the recommendations and it's what you want. We're in this relationship with you for a very long time. So we're very happy to take an extra hour or day or week up front so that there's no problems in the future. The last thing that I want is for us to rush now and then, 5 or 7 or 10 years down the road, you're unhappy with something and you call me up and you're like, Laurent, what the heck is this? This is not what I wanted. Totally wrong. I would rather get it right now so that we don't have any of these problems that could easily be fixed now coming up later. So that leads us to the next step. This is kind of a third part in our 3-part process, which is actually putting the plan in place. So in this third meeting, this is what we call the application meeting. This is where the rubber hits the road and that we start applying for the insurance and that we start opening your investment accounts or whatever else parts of the proposal that we're going to implement. Sometimes we implement all the recommendations at once, and sometimes we start out with some of them now and we do more later. Everybody's life and timelines are different, so this is all really dependent on you and your current situation. If we're applying for insurance, we're going to complete these applications now and send all that information to the different insurance companies so that they can start the underwriting process, right? Just because you want insurance doesn't mean you can have it. You have to apply, and the insurance company has to approve you. And their underwriting process, it can take anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of months, depending on your health, depending on if the insurance company needs more information, potentially from your doctor. And then oftentimes, if we're doing some of the bigger whole life strategies, we're applying for a big insurance policy, those often require more underwriting. What's really good is ever since COVID, the insurance companies have come into the future and they've relaxed their quick issue underwriting for basic insurance and for different types of coverage, so we can get a lot of stuff approved much more quickly than before. Also coming out of COVID, what's really been good is that we can do all of this via Zoom meetings. So we can do all of this via video calls and DocuSigns. You don't have to come in and do all this stuff in person like you used to before COVID. As we go through the underwriting process, we're going to keep in communication with you if there's any additional information required or if anything comes up that could delay a decision. For setting up your investments, we can open the account and it's rather simple. We can do it all very quickly. We're very digital and we have a very digital forward platform that we use to manage investments, so we can do most of it online and through DocuSign. What can take a lot of time with investments is if you're transferring money from another investment account to us. We'll be quick on our end, but the other institution that's currently holding your money, they can take a really long time to send the money. And it's actually kind of brutal how bad other companies are at sending over the money. They're very quick to take your money and they're very slow to let it go. But you don't need to worry about any of that. As part of our service and as part of our expertise, we stick handle this entire process for you and we make sure that things get done as quickly as they can. So that's it. That's what it looks like if you want to work with us. We're very consistent with our process. We've dialed this in over the past 12 years of doing this. And then also just know that if you ever refer somebody to work with us, this is exactly the process that they're going to go through as well. We do this same process with everybody. We never skip it and we never skip any of the steps. This way that we know we get all the information that we need and we know that things get done right each time and that we're not missing anything. If working with a great team who has a thorough and defined process like this to make a plan for your insurance and your investments sounds like something that you want to do, you can reach out here via DM or you can send us a message through the website and somebody will reply to you within 24 hours on business days to set up a meeting time, and we'll see if we can be a good fit to work together. Before you go, please do all those things that help us win on the internet. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment, share this with somebody. All of these things help the algorithm know that you like this video and that more people like you should see it. Thank you so much. That's it for today, and I will see you next time.